I guess my intro's not coming on there. Why is that now? And hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Where is my intro? Well, let's do it this way. Hi, everyone. Oops. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, and I am feeling better. The side of my face is not aching as it was. I'm still a little bit sore, but not like I was. Not at all like I was. It was bad, bad, bad. I hope you guys are all doing well, and thank you to all of you for being here, and thank you for coming back. And if it's your first time here, thank you for being here. So we have Cheryl Lee, Belinda, Harley Davidson, Kim, Pictou Hub, Rena, April, Violet, TJ, Brian, Ginger, Mousy, Kim, Winod, Lori, Nurse, Bonnie. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. Well, definitely, it's been a while. And Mark the Shark. Hello, Mark the Shark. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. And thank you to all my mods for being here. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a minute, eh? And thank you for the compliments too, by the way. Um, oh, enjoy your dinner. Enjoy your dinner. uh, so, I mean, there certainly hasn't been any new news in regards to the Lily and Jack case as far as, from RCMP or evidence wise or whatever. But there's certainly been a lot of strange stuff going on for sure. Um, yeah, some strange happenings. Um, so, guys, I I have to apologize for the other day when my grandson was here, and it's so cute. So, my son and his wife come over to make supper for us, and I went on my phone. He was watching Elmo, so I thought I could sneak on my phone and update some pictures in StreamYard here, and he always tries to grab at the phone. And like I have videotapes of him, and then I play them back to him, and he gets the biggest kick out of that. I swear he knows he's watching himself because he just sits there with a big smile on his face watching it. It's so cute. So he's grabbing at the phone, and he must have hit go live maybe or something. I don't know what happened. But anyways, I guess I was booked for a live that I wasn't aware about until a couple of people brought it to my attention. So I apologize for that. Totally accidental. I had did up some new added a few more posters to the missing posters, which is what I was doing, and adding a couple other things in there as well, and just getting prepared for coming back on live. And Pictou Hub, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Um, so while I was away sick, um, a couple other things I just want to mention before we get into the topics here at hand. Um, so first of all, I have a QR code up there for the Buy Me a Coffee. Nobody is obligated to. You don't have to do anything, but it is there. Um, and the other thing is we are going to start doing the eerie, creepy, hair-raising, unexplained story time. And so if you guys want to submit your stories, and this is going to be part of our members' lives. So if you guys want to send in your stories, please feel free to do so. And you can email your stories to novaschannel@gmail.com. Now, we don't want any stories that cross certain lines. Let's try to keep it, you know, uh, just if you had a creepy boyfriend, like I have one creepy story I can tell about, when my ex-mother-in-law had passed away, like a very, very strange, weird story, unexplained for sure. Um, stories like that, or a bad first date, um, uh, unexplained stuff, just, like last night, I was in bed, my husband was sleeping, and then I heard a noise, and I was like, I don't know what that was. And then when I get up to go to the bathroom later, the shampoo was sitting on the floor, in the middle of the floor in the bathroom. And I was like, well, how the heck did that get there? So that obviously was the noise I heard, but I have no idea how it got there. Unexplained. So just strange things like that. Yeah, so please feel free to share your stories. So just wanted to we got some new members. Susan, Paris, thank you, and Rena, thank you. Yeah, if you guys have some short stories to share, please feel free to share your stories. Yeah, and I just thought it'd be better to do some stuff like that during the lives than do things as far as part of cases because we don't want to leave anybody out of that information. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for becoming members. Who else do we have that has come in here? Mrs. L, Lynn, and Pictou, Sharon Parker. Hello, Dragonfly. Hi, mods in chat. If I missed anybody, my apologies. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Yeah. So we're gonna start doing that too. So anybody who wants to share their stories, please feel free. Put some music on there. There. Yeah, so I did Animal Keeper. Hi. I did watch the live last night. Oh, Rena girl. Thank you. So sweet. We're all good here, Animal Keeper. Thank you very much for doing that, guys. 5 memberships. Rena has handed out. So hopefully 5 of you here in the room receive those. Very nice. We'll go over and do our dance again. Toot toot toot. Thank you, Rena. There we go. Yes, so I did watch that. I see some of you are saying that get out the kazoos. My grandson actually has one, and I took a picture of it, and I'm gonna make a emoji. He scared the crap out of me with it. He had it. I didn't know he had it. His mom put it in his bag. And anyways, well, I guess she took his toys out and put them in the toy box he uses here when he's here. And so he went over and took it out, and I was sitting on the couch, and he got up beside me, and he blew into that, and I jumped because I had no idea that he had it. It was one of the toys that she had there with him. Oh my God, funny. Yeah. Yeah, so I know I see some of you guys were not impressed with what took place last night. And I've been off here for a bit, sick. And honestly, I was not really too thrilled with the fact that somebody's personal medical information was put out there. So I found that very disappointing. Um, and, you know, and then, yeah, that was put out there, and I found that kind of disturbing, for a couple of reasons. For the fact that it is, somebody's private information. I mean, Daniel's put stuff out there about himself. Now we're talking about the missing case of two children, Lily and Jack Sullivan. Lily, 6, Jack, 4, who went missing on May 2nd. Um, Reported by RCMP to be last seen May 1st. They went missing from Garlock, however you want to pronounce it, Garlock Road in Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia. And he, um, so Daniel, who is the mother's ex-boyfriend, who they all were living with at the time on the property of Daniel's mother. And Daniel, has put a lot of things out there on his own about himself. His own personal information, medical information of, rug stuff and treatment and stuff. He's put that out there himself. So when someone has done that themselves, um, that's their choice. I did it. I told you guys that, hey, I'm not well. I have an infection, and the disc in my upper back is bothering me. I'm putting that out there to you. Nobody else. Nobody else has the right to, but me. If I want to. So to hear that being told on air, I found that very disappointing. That's a big that's there there's an ethical issue there in doing that. And that kind of shocked me. It kind of surprised me. And not only is that an issue, it's also an issue to put out where somebody could possibly be. Nova Scotia is a small place, and there's probably only 2 areas that an individual could go for, you know, um, certain types of there's certain areas where people go for certain types of health care. And, for somebody's wherever they are continuously to be put out there when it's very evident that there's an issue going on there, and that she as a woman does not want him to know where she is or to be around her and to leave her alone. The police talked to him and stated that to him as well. So to recklessly put out there where somebody is, it's just all wrong. It's very wrong. Yeah. So anyways, that, and yeah, it is stalk. It is stalking. When somebody's following you, taking pictures of you, information of you being put out there where you are, and nobody should ever take part in that. If anything, you would want to keep her protected as and I'll say possible, uh, victim of something, but whether you're a victim or not, as soon as you tell somebody that to leave you alone and that you don't want them to know where you are, or be around you, or be involved in anything about you to the point where you wipe them off the face of the earth, which is pretty much what she did. For anybody to then turn around and say, well, I guess this is going on, and yeah, and this is what type of healthcare thing it is, and um, you know, anyways, I think you all know what I'm saying. That I found very disturbing. Yeah. So, and it went from that to, geez, there was something else there that happened too, and I was like, "What the heck?" I was like, "Holy cow." But anyways, um, it we all have our channels that we enjoy watching, and to each their own. I don't care who watches what, or if they watch me or they don't, and they prefer so and so or whatever. That's why there's different channels, right? Um, and but uh, for me, that's not one of my channels that I have a preference of, and I'll check a channel out and I'll kind of do my homework, and then I'll decide, no, I don't think that's for me. Hi, Shenanigans. Thanks for being here. You're welcome to come up with me if you like. Um, uh, I'm waiting to get into the pain clinic. If that'll ever happen. I've been waiting for a long time now. Yeah. And they'll probably discuss all that with me. Yeah. Thank you. Um, yeah, and yeah, so there, we all have those things that just kind of makes us decide that that's really not the channel for me. And for me, it was when I hear the content creator, or the channel uh, owner, or whatever you want to call it, um, state something, state that I put misinformation out there. And I've done that, and I've done it intentionally just to see what would happen. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if I said to you right now, okay, everyone, thanks for being here. Now, half of what I'm going to tell you today is true, and the other half is just BS. Um, would you want to come back tomorrow and continue to watch me? Um, you would hope that the information that I'm giving you is, to the best of my knowledge, not saying people don't make mistakes, because we all do. I have, and we all do, right? And when you realize you do, of course, you need to come back and correct it. But to the best of my knowledge, and I know most other channels, you're putting information out there that you want to be correct. You want it to be correct, not, you know, just willy-nilly throw some stuff out there that's not factual just for whatever reason. I have no idea why a content creator would want to do that. But that was kind of it for me. Because of me, of how I am, because I really like sincerity from people, and I've always been this way. I've always been this way. If somebody's, as soon as they start to come off to me, they're not being sincere, and I know they're not, I'm done of the conversation, because it's just a waste of time. It's the waste of your precious seconds and minutes in that conversation, or an hour and a half watching content on YouTube that is no, that is not sincere, or some of it's sincere, maybe some of it isn't. And, when a content creator comes right out and tells you that, then are you supposed to what? Sift through it and pick out what isn't sincere, or no? So for me, I'm done with that. Like, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, well, that's not for me, because I like sincerity, and for people to try to have the facts in order, not exaggerate it, um, and to not, say something like the RCMP called them liars or said they're lying or whatever, and use those exact words, and then turn around on your next show and say, well, I'm not saying they're lying. Um, so for me, that's not my shtick. You know what I'm saying? But to each their own, right? To each their own. Um, yeah. Well, I have the article here, and we're gonna go over it. Um, because we all think different. I have my way of thinking. Other commentators have their way of thinking. Um, and you guys have your way of thinking. And for me, I don't ever want to force anybody, or, you know, make people think they have to think the same way I do, because you don't, right? If I note something and go, I'm being 100% sincere when I look at something and go, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Like, why is he saying that? Or why is our CMP saying that? I'm being 100% sincere in that my brain is talking to my gut and telling me, that's a little weird. Um, and I think it's okay. That's okay. And, I really liked what Dr. Vana had said, and I've said it before, is, we don't know. Lily and Jack, unfortunately, are the evidence that our CMP needs to say what happened here. When they find them, they will know if they perished due to wandering off, or if something nefarious took place. And until then, nobody knows. They probably have a better idea than all of us, that's for sure. But unfortunately, they are the evidence. And Dr. Vana, very well done, stated that last night to Daniel DT Daniel, that, well, until they are found, don't you think that everyone is the suspect until Lily and Jack are found and it's determined what did happen to them? And I've been saying that all along, and that is the truth. You can't say that, none of us can, right? Now I want to keep my ears and eyes open to everything. And hi, Joyous. Thanks for being here. And anybody else who came in. Shan, I don't know. I said if you want to come up with me, you can, but I don't know if you heard me or answered me. Shanalana-lanagans. um, Yeah, because, like, I want to look at what the RCMP is putting out, and also look at what, you know, Daniel's putting out. I wanna look at everything, not just one area, not just, what, you know, uh, one side of it, but not the other. I wanna look at both and understand what, uh Sorry, guys. I'm just looking to see if Shenanigans answered me. Yeah, I want to look at everything and not overlook anything. Hi, Roots. Thanks for being here, and thanks to anybody else who came in. And and definitely if somebody's saying something like, well, if you find those 2 sweaters, with the kids, that it's Malaya trying to set me up, or, um, all those little things like that, um, or the blanket wasn't theirs, wasn't Lily's. All those things I want to pay attention to. Hi, Just the Facts. Thanks for being here. Carol, hi. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Oh, Roots, thank you. Another dance. Thank you. Thank you very much, Roots. Very nice. You guys are awesome. You're all awesome. I'm looking back. Hi, Squid. Thanks for being here. Looking back to see if Shenanigans answered me. Maybe she's not here any longer. She might have went to get supper, maybe. Jane, hi. Oh, there you are. Did you want to come up with me? You're certainly welcome to. Just let me know. I'll put the link in the chat. Yeah, so I like to pay attention to everything. So, and I always say at the end of the day, we don't know. None of us know what took place here. We just know that there's things that stand out that just, um, do not seem right, are very strange indeed, or as Daphne likes to say, weird. It is weird. Some of the things being said, it's just, yeah, very strange indeed. The contradictory statements and in some incidences, outright lies being stated. Okay, Shan. Yep. So, I mean, all of that, you can't, you have to pay attention to it. You have to, and not be one-minded. So I like to pay attention to everything. And, yeah, like Dr. Vana had stated, until Lily and Jack are found and it is determined what took place, shouldn't everybody be a suspect until it is known what took place here? And yes, absolutely, because RCMP have stated that themselves. Everything's on the table. Everything is on the table until they know what took place here with Lily and Jack, until it's solved, right? And whether that's finding them out in the woods because they perished out there, or because something nefarious took place. Everything is on the table. So, yeah. Anyways, I was quite shocked because I thought I was tuning into, now, like I said, I do not watch that show. But being that Daphne and Dr. Vanna, who both of those ladies I just love, I definitely wanted to watch that with the three of them, right? I actually thought this is going to be a really good episode because you have the side of an officer being able to educate in that direction what certain things might mean. You have Dr. Vanna, who's a doctor, and the psychology of stuff. And then you have Daphne, who uh, follows the crime and does her commentary on crime. And but to my surprise, that's not really what that show was about. That's not what that show was about. Hi, Anne. And who else? Did anybody else come in? Jerry, Jerlyn, hi. Mike, hi, Mike. Yeah, Mike's got a great channel too, guys. Damn, we go. I love the DT show. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, everybody has their own stuff they like. Joyous, hello. Nice to have you here. When creators put so much time into Jack and Lily, it was really difficult to hear one creator dismiss the other, in my opinion. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's not it's really not a good thing to see that for sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Joyous. NYC, hello there. Thanks for being here. And Sharon, I don't understand how two babies with no food, one with a diaper on, not properly dressed, would take off like that, especially with no tracing of footprints all over the place. Yeah, exactly. And it's okay to have those questions. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to question those things, right? There could be an explanation of why, and maybe there isn't. I mean, maybe there is, but it's not the one that, it should be. And maybe there's a rational explanation. But it's okay because that's your brain telling your gut that, wait a minute, something's wrong with that, right? Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to have those questions and to feel that way. And to want to know why. Hi, Jerry. And to want to know why, what's going on there. Your sign is in Wentworth. I have 2 signs here. Yes, it is a very frustrating case. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I was disappointed last night with the fact that it didn't quite end up being 3 people putting their heads together and not to Daphne's or Dr. Vanna's, not due to them. I'm not saying that, but I just found it was more about defending oneself, and not proper discussion about Lily and Jack, to the point where Dr. Vanna had to say, I'm not accusing you when I say this, because she would say something and he would say, I never said that, blah, blah, blah. And the first time it was done, I was just kind of like, okay, well, whatever. But then it continued to the point where she had to say, "I'm not accusing you when I say this. I'm not accusing you." Um, but yeah, it just seemed to be more about defending how a person thinks. And I mean, it was disappointing, I have to say. It wasn't what I expected. And you know, um if somebody's upset because of things that they said, I mean, when you want to say that, a bear took that blanket and took it and it ended up in the tree, or that Brad Wong dug through somebody's garbage and stole part of a blanket, when all of us know that that's not true. The blanket wasn't even in the bag. It was on the back doorstep. Um, but when you want to choose to listen to those stories and then sit on your own show as a creator and put that stuff out there, um, you chose to do that. So when people kind of squawk at that and go, well, no, like I would never come on my show and say, yeah, I think that actually makes sense. I do think that a bear could have taken that and walked way down the road with it and flung it up in the tree. Or I think that that's possible. Yes, Brad has a history of stealing 6 years ago, and I do think that he would have went in the garbage and stole a piece of that old pink ratty blanket. Yes, that makes perfectly good sense. Don't get upset because people aren't turning around and taking that as wholehearted, you know, information that could be true, because no way. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm going to say, no, I don't believe that. Um, I think that's a little bit silly to say that. Um, but anyway, so I mean, or to say that the RCMP called somebody a liar when that's not what the article said. Um, so, um, as a creator, that individual's choosing to come out and say those things. Um, and those things are just silly. And, when you're going to paraphrase somebody, you have to paraphrase um, more closely to what they've actually said. Or pull that article up on the day that you're saying that, not a few days later, and then say something totally different than you said a few days ago. Anyways, and then the attack on another creator. I was really disappointed with the whole thing, and that's why I choose not to watch that show, because it's just not my thing. It's not my thing. All of that. It's not my thing. Um, and uh, I don't think there's any silliness about this, of saying that you think a bear took that blanket and threw it up, because I know that he doesn't really think that. There's no way on this earth do I believe that he thinks that a bear took that blanket down the road and flung it up in a tree, or that Brad went through the garbage and took that blanket out of there. I don't believe that he actually believes that. So I can't sit there and watch that and I'm like, no. I just can't let my brain absorb that. And when somebody starts trying to feed me something that I know, that that's not so, you're kind of treating me like I'm a dummy, that you would even think that I, for watching it, would believe it. But that's how I am. That's how I am. Yes. Yeah. Which, look, as an officer, um, he's worked in the field. Um, as a nurse, there's things that I have a distaste for, um, that I could never work in that area, I have no tolerance for it, whatever, right? But you still have to act appropriately. Here's the thing. Can you imagine if your child was missing, or children? And so I always try to put myself in that person's shoes. So I always put myself in their shoes by thinking of my grandson. I always think, okay, if my grandson was here and he went missing, and um I had to call the police. Now the police are talking to the neighbors, did you guys see anything different, blah blah blah. And let's say my neighbor across the street says, um, I did. I seen a black van drive up, and it was sitting there watching the child for, 10 minutes. And then I seen him go around the block twice. And then the next thing I know, I heard, you know, Nana and Papa saying, "Where's my grandson?" Um, but the police say, Uh, but he has a criminal record. 6 years ago, we caught him stealing some stuff, so we're not even gonna pay attention to that, okay? We're not even gonna write that down, because he's got a pass, let me tell you. Uh, I'd have a problem with that. And I don't believe that the RCMP would look at it that way either. DT's looking at it that way. Um, he's looking at it that way. And that's an issue. That is an issue. Um, so I would not be happy with any police officer that took that stance on that. Um, yeah. Now if they said to me, he's been charged with offenses towards children, and, you know, things of that nature, then I would put them on the suspect list as well, and find it hard to listen to what they're saying, but you'd still even have to listen to it then. Um, no, I agree. I don't think this whole thing, he's Daniel's best friend, and uh, sticks up for him, or uh whatever. He defends what the RCMP has disclosed, but I don't think anybody else is saying anything different. We all know what's been disclosed. We're not saying anything different. Um, what we're saying is that does not mean that, because let's go back a little bit. First, it was Daniel is cleared. Okay, and that went on for the longest time. And we were all saying, no, DT, he's not cleared. Now he agrees with that and says he's backtracked on that. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. These are things he's saying, right? Daniel's cleared. The bear threw the blanket up in the tree. Or what's his name went through the guard. Like, it's just silly stuff. It's silly stuff, right? That I, with a brain, know is not accurate. Um, so now it's gone from that to he also agrees, right? That RCMP hasn't said that Daniel's cleared. Um, and so, um, and now then it went from that to he did say RCMP called. I can't remember if he said Brad and Justin, but Brad for sure. Um, that they're liars, or they lied, or something like that. Well, they didn't say that. And then he backtracked on that last night. Um, he's the one that's coming out and saying those things. And I do agree that he's defending the RCMP of what they disclosed, but why? Nobody's disputing. Nobody has an issue with the RCMP. Nobody said they had an issue with the RCMP. People just have the opinion that the RCMP are still looking at everything, and that you have to read very carefully what the RCMP put out there. What they don't put out there and what they do put out there, you have to read very carefully. People from Canada know what the RCMP are like. We already know the tactics that they use to solve their crimes. We already know that they'll sit right in a I've already talked about it here before about the Penny Boudreau case, which I've tried to discuss with DT Daniel, that while RCMP are investigating her and pretty much know by that time she did it, but they just have to get her. They're doing the Mr. Big sting on her. While they're sitting on TV in a news interview, and if you go to my video about Penny Boudreau, you'll see all that, saying that as far the exact same language as you see the RCMP use in this case. At this time, we have no grounds to believe that Penny Boudreau's mother had anything to do with her disappearance. Or I think it might have been her unaliving at that time, because first she was missing and then they found her. But when in fact, they 100% knew, and they were doing a Mr. Big on her in the background. So, those are things that we know. Yeah, Penny Boudreau, yeah. So, yeah, like nobody has an issue. Well, I shouldn't say nobody has an issue. There's one person that has an issue with the RCMP, and that's we don't talk about them around here on this channel, but would be Darren Geddes. That's the only person I ever hear going off about the RCMP. Oh, Wolfie's here, is he? Hi, Wolfie. Can't see my. No, you can't see. Oh, you and your songs. I love your songs. Anyways, so yeah, so I mean, I think we all agree, there's no issue with what the RCMP is doing. And exactly, poker face, right? Poker face, RCMP, poker face. But I'm just doing the same thing the RCMP are doing, their exact words. Everything's on the table. Everything, right? To them, it's not, the kids are out in the woods and that's that, and everybody's innocent. And the other question I have that keeps popping in my head, and again, those are those things that, your brain starts speaking to your gut. Why? I think everyone can agree that definitely neglect here, definitely. So why haven't they been charged with that? And then part of me thinks, well, if you're making sure that if there's a bigger charge to come, possible, that you might want to wait to rule that out before you charge somebody with neglect. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Thank you, Wolfie. I do feel better. So let's go over that article because I have some stuff to say about that. I want to turn my music back on first, and then I have to go run to the bathroom and have a pee break, take a drink, and I will be right back. Okay. Hello, I'm back. I don't want that music too loud. Put it at 16. Whoops. There we go. Trying to put that on there so I can say, hi, everyone. I'm here. I'm still here. Let's put this up. So this is the article, excuse me, that, hi, Becca. Thanks for being here. Anybody that's come in that I haven't said hi to, hello, and thank you for being here. Heather, thank you for being here. Yeah. Hair in my mouth. Yeah, so let's go over this article. This is interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, so missing Nova Scotia children. RCMP dispute witness accounts in case. Now, for me, when I read this article, just the way I am, I don't always so much. I pay attention to the article or the head of the article in the sense, the title, in the sense that it's giving me a heads up of what the article is going to be about, but I don't take the words in it as what RCMP has actually stated. So does that make sense? So, now if it was in quotes, if it said RCMP and then it said disputes and it was in quotes, then I would know that, oh, okay, they've used that word themselves. That would really, make me think, oh, what's going on here? I'm still interested when I read the title, but I know that is the publisher's title, right? That is by the Canadian Press. Whoever wrote this, we'll see it at the end. That's the title they've put on it. That's not what the RCMP have stated. I'm going to read through the article myself to decide, exactly what was stated and what I think of it, not based on the article. Oh, we got some starred items here. Joyous, thank you. I believe the RCMP are highly suspicious of two folks. Yep, but are keeping it quiet in order to find certain evidence. In my opinion, I believe so too. And to find certain evidence. And unfortunately, I think that evidence is going to be Lilly&Jack. Now, I heard that there were searches that took place again, and it wasn't by please bring me home. So, like they're still looking. They're still looking. And, they need to find them to know. They need to find them to know. Yeah. Happy holidays to you and your hubby. Aw, thank you, Pictou Hub. You guys are so sweet. Thank you very much. We'll do a little dance. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You're all awesome. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Yes, Becca. Yeah. Yeah. Now I heard that now. Uh, I saw somebody in a chat talking about it, and um, he's one of the searchers that assisted with Please Bring Me Home. Yes, just the facts. Damien, yes, Damien said he was out searching that. Oh, there you go. Yep. And he's one of the searchers, yeah. So, yeah, so people are still out there searching. And yeah. Yeah, that sure would answer a lot of questions. And it's just so sad, like these poor babies need a proper, there needs to be proper closure for everyone involved, family and these poor babies. Not that there's ever real closure, but you guys know what I mean. Hi, Cheryl. Yeah. Sad. Anyways, so that's how I take a title when I look at a title. Okay? So far I'm not seeing anything there where they're saying, and again, this isn't our CMP saying this. This is the title that the writer has given this article. Okay? This is nothing to do with what the RCMP have stated. It's just their title. It's the title of the article. And we go down. Halifax, Nova Scotia RCMP say they have found no evidence to back up. So it's to back up what the witnesses have said, to back it up, right? Not to make it fact, right? Not that it isn't fact, or, to back it up, to back up the witnesses. It'd be great because of today's technology, right? But crime took place before now with all this technology, right? And that's all you had before were witnesses. Now one backs the other up, right? So you have one saying it, another one saying, well, yeah, I heard the loud vehicle as well. Excuse me. Um, so that in itself is a positive. Um, but to say one manipulated the other into thinking something, well, mm, I don't have any facts of that. Um, so to back up witness accounts of a vehicle driving back and forth early in the morning near the rural northeastern home where two young children went missing in May. Spokesperson Cindy Bears said investigators conducted a thorough review of surveillance footage from the area in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, where 6-year-old Lily and Jack were reported missing. In an email on Tuesday, Bears told police, now here's what's in quotes. So this is specifically what they said. So we're not this is what I'm paying attention to, not what the title that the writer of the article put in there, because he can call his article whatever he wants. I want to know what's in the quotes, what exactly our CMP said. So our CMP found no evidence of any vehicle activity at that time, as such, no driver has been identified. Well, if they didn't believe the witnesses that there was a car going back and forth, why would they think that they need to even identify a driver, right? So as such, no driver has been identified. And the presence of a vehicle has not been substantiated. So again, backed up, like by camera. So that doesn't mean that there was a camera right there pointing exactly on that road and it caught everything else. Every other car. It even caught the kids walking up the road. So we know they walked up the road because that camera that's pointing right at the road caught it. Anyways, which it would have, right? If it didn't catch, no vehicle in the sense that two people are lying, well, then it should have caught the kids, right? Like, anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. And I've said that right from the beginning when I read this article, or when it was said about, that there is camera evidence and it didn't catch a vehicle that didn't happen. There was no vehicle. That's not true. And I said right at the beginning, well, if there is camera footage then and that is a lie, then that means that the camera would have caught the kids. So how come we're not hearing about that? But anyways, so found no evidence of a vehicle activity at that time, such as no driver has been identified, and the presence of a vehicle has not been substantiated, so unable to back it up as a key element in the investigation. The RCMP recently released new information about the case, including accounts from witnesses who said they heard a vehicle going back and forth near the children's family home a few hours before they were reported missing. Bear said the witnesses, residents of Lansdowne Station, reported hearing a vehicle but did not visually confirm it. Well, I don't know about the visual because I thought Brad saw it because he can see across to Daniels. Maybe I'm wrong on that. The witness accounts were included in documents to the Canadian press and other media outlets that the Mounties filed in court earlier this year to obtain search warrants for phone records, banking records, and video related to the case. Each document contains unproven statements made by police. The documents say one of those residents, Brad Wong, told police on May 9th that in the early hours of May 2nd, he heard a loud vehicle coming and going from the family's home on Garlic Road. Wong said he could also see vehicle lights over the treetops and that the vehicle left their address 3 or 4 times after midnight and into the early morning hours. Yeah, so he did see the lights. And he did a video to show us that he can see the lights down on that road, and you clearly can. The documents say Wong told police he heard the vehicle stop and return, remaining in earshot the entire time. About a week after they spoke to Wong, police say they spoke to Justin Smith, the other nearby resident. Police say Smith told them on May 17th that he had spoken to Wong about the vehicle and that he also heard it in the early hours of May 2nd. Police say Smith told them the vehicle was on Highway 289 and turned around by the railroad tracks near the area of Garlock Road and Lansdowne Station. According to the documents, Smith said he later spoke with Wong and told him the vehicle he heard early that morning belonged to Daniel Martel, the children's stepfather. He lived in the home with their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. Smith said Wong told him he had heard the loud vehicle come and go 5 or 6 times that night. In an interview last week, Martel claims that he was driving back and forth late at night are complete nonsense. My vehicle never moved out of the yard that night, and it never moved out of that yard the following day, he told the Canadian press over the phone. He added that at that time, the vehicle the family was using belonged to Brooks Murray and that it was not a loud vehicle by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Yeah. So if the RCMP recently released new, including accounts. Witness said they heard a vehicle. In an email Tuesday, Bear said police found no evidence of any vehicle at that time. As such, no driver has been identified. And the presence of a vehicle has not been since there was something else, I wonder. Bear said the witness. Residents reported hearing a vehicle. The Canadian press and the other media outlets, the Mounties filed in court. There was something I wanted to go back to there. I don't know what, I can't find it now. So nothing on camera is that what they're saying? No. Well, let's read it again. In an email on Tuesday, Bear said police found no evidence of any vehicle activity at that time. As such, no driver has been identified, which would be the driver of the vehicle that Brad and Justin are talking about. And the presence of a vehicle has not been substantiated as a key element in the investigation. So there's no video to back up what they're saying. That's how I take it. I don't want to tell anybody else how they should take it, but I take it as there's no video to back up what they're saying. So, I could say right now, I'm going to go bake a cake. And just because my husband didn't videotape it and it's not on videotape doesn't mean it didn't happen. I actually did bake a cake, but there's no videotape of it to back it up. I don't take it as there's videotape, or video, or what do you call it, recording devices pointing right at that road, and that it captured everything else. Because the thing is, if you're going to believe that there is recording devices that would have captured it, you also have to believe that there's recording devices that would have captured everything else, which would include the children, right? And anything else, any other vehicles, it would have captured everything, right? So to me, it means that there was no possibility of it being captured, is how I take it. But like, I know that RCMP will be tricky with, and how they're saying things. Yeah, the RCMP recently released new information about the case, including accounts from witnesses who, there was something else there that they said. Conducted a thorough review of surveillance footage from the area. I mean, when they say conducted a thorough review of surveillance footage from the area, they did, because they did have, they had the stuff from that Melissa gave them that's not even on Garlic Road. There probably was other stuff that they gathered there. But I take it as there was no video footage within that area that they would have needed to capture that. That's how I take it. Because if we're going to believe that Lily and Jack wandered off down the street and up to that same area, through those same areas, then they would have seen them on video footage, and we would have been told that by now. We would have been told that, here's Jack and Lily walking down the street with the pink blanket. So to me, my brain tells my gut that, yeah, there's something, to not just read this article and go, oh, well, those two are just liars, and nothing, that what they said wasn't true, because there was, cameras pointing right at that road, and nothing like that happened. Do you think they would even say that? Do you think these two guys are brain dead, and that they're going to just say this and it not be and knowing that there's cameras here and there that would capture that? Justin's staying right in the park of one of the places where DT is saying where the camera was. And, like, they would know. They would know that they live out there. They would know that those cameras are there. They're not gonna. And then he says it must be the wrong day. Well, if that's the case, then the police would be able to look back and see that it was the wrong day, and look at the day before in the video footage, and look at a couple of days before. They said they want it to look way back. Remember, they said they want video footage from way back. And they actually changed the date. I think they said 5 days at first, and then they changed it from 5 to 7 or something. They wanted video footage prior to the day the kids went missing. And we're all kind of like, well, geez, why would they want that far back, right? Well, they would be looking at all that and seeing that, oh, look, it was Wednesday night that Daniel, was up and driving that car in and out of there. And, those two guys are mistaken on their days. Like, they would know that. Yeah. And they would have come back and asked. They would have come back and asked Brad and Justin and said, Listen, are you guys sure that wasn't Wednesday night? Because, we do have him captured doing that on Wednesday, and we just think you might have your nights confused because they'd want to rule that out and be, okay, that's off the list. That was a mistake. Um, anyways, this is just what my brain tells me, and I'm not going to have anybody getting upset um, with me following my brain and my gut on certain thoughts. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying that means that Daniel did something nefarious or, uh, you know, like people coming out and saying that they red rum the children and they're buried in the dry, like that's horrible. That's terrible. That's disgusting. Um, but to take a look at everything because everything is on the table just in the same way that the RCMP would be looking at everything. I'm going to allow my brain to do that. Yeah. And I'm not going to allow someone to be upset with me with doing that. We have enough cold cases around here in Pictou County. And when this took place, that was the biggest thing to me, that this is not going to again be one of those cases here in Pictou County that just the foolish talk starts that, oh, they're hidden on a reserve somewhere and this, all the, and then it happened. And then it happened. All the silly talk started. And I was like, oh, here we go again. So I could see the trend again of, what we see in the cold cases around here, where the silly story starts and the people that, uh, some people believe that, you know, this person may have had something to do with it is, it goes unsolved and none of that is ever looked into or found out or, we have, Lynn Oliver, and I heard Shenanigans earlier say she's gonna go in more in depth on her. I'll show you here. We can take this article down. She's one of the pictures that I show when I do the missing people. Because you have to remember, I'm from the area. And I just thought, no way is this going to be another one of these cases. This is two small children. And I don't care if our CMP have to search. Obviously, they can't search every day, but continuously until they find Lily and Jack to figure out what happened here, then they damn well need to do it because this can't be another cold case of not knowing what happened. So we have Lynn Adele Oliver, age 22 years old, last seen August 25th, 1979, at 141 Stellarton Road in Glasgow, Nova Scotia. Cold. Okay. Kevin Wesley Martin, age 13 years old, reported missing May 19th, 1994, from Stellarton, Nova Scotia, found deceased November 13th, 2000, Burnside, Colchester County, red rummed. Let me move the... Yeah. So then he's found red rummed. Oh. Banner's still in the way. Sorry, Lilly&Jack. Yeah. And again, another one of those things where a story was just, circulating. And I can remember my sister-in-law crying because nobody was listening, that something happened to this boy. And she didn't believe that he just ran away. She knew who he was, like she lived in Stellarton, and she didn't believe that he just ran away. Adair Townsend, age 73, Reported missing April 8th, 2024. Last seen April 9th on CCTV footage along Highway 106, Mount William area, Pictou County. Cold. We have Billy Smith that I've talked about on this channel. Cold. We have Eddie Phelan from Trenton. Red rummed in front of his house by a pew pew. Cold. You know, we have the two in the truck out in Green Hill who she was reported missing from Truro and then found deceased here in Pictou County and then burned in a truck. Cold. We have another one who passed through Pictou County. She was reported missing, and then they knew that she was going from point A to point B, which she would have to travel through Pictou County. And then they found her car here in Pictou County alongside of the highway. She's still missing. Cold. That case is cold. So when this happened with the kids, I just thought, like, this just can't be another one of these cases that go cold and that one of these silly stories are floating around for the rest of eons, regarding these children. And then when the story come out about them being, it started with the whole on the reserve, like I was livid because I thought, here we go. And I'm not saying, this has anything to do with the RCMP not doing their job and whatnot. I'm not saying that at all. It has to do with a type of dynamic here in this county of people not talking, being afraid to talk. Yeah. So, so people have to remember that, and Shenanigans is from Nova Scotia as well, Halifax. So, anyways, I'm going to continue to look at everything. And in the same way that I'm sure the RCMP are taking a look at everything. And if I look at something and my brain is sending that message to my gut that, that seems a little weird. I'm going to talk about it, and that's okay. It's okay. Nova, do you think the Crown is more cautious since that guy walked free in the Code of Silence case? Well, that was a big thing, I'll tell you. And that, I mean, that still to this day is upsetting, to people that happened. And I would say yes, definitely. Yeah. And I mean that people were so afraid, and that we're talking about the Billy Smith case. People were so afraid that his mother and his girlfriend were petrified. I mean, as much as his girlfriend tried to be brave and say, I'm not scared, and, absolutely. Absolutely, Animal Keeper. Is that you, Al? The Code of Silence. Exactly. And, yeah. Here in PEI, we have an Anne Gregory and Alora Pantone, missing. Two pretty dramatic cases. Really? I'll have to look those up. Not too often you hear of a missing person in PEI. Yeah. Yes, it is, Al. Someone figured it out. Well, I'm a good little investigator, that's why. Uh-huh. I deserve a Scooby-Doo snack now. Yeah. Where are we at? We're at 1:30. Um, right, Ginger. Why would the cadaver dog handler think something happened Thursday night? And that's the thing, right? There's a reason why they would ask that, right? Um, I remember a neighbor saying early on a lot of cars at Daniel's the day before. The person thought they had a party. Who was that? Well, nobody knows because that person what put that comment in as anonymous. So yeah. Yeah, Ginger, they must suspect something. Yeah. Perhaps the RCMP want to know what other cars visited the property over the prior week. Yeah, yeah, and they would want to again, they'd want to check all that, right? And check to see and verify that they didn't have the wrong days. Justin and um, Brad, and yeah, they'd want to verify everything that they have to verify, right? Uh, there are 2 GIS satellite photos available for purchase that the RCMP didn't buy for May 1st. What? Purchase. I don't know what that means, Mike. It's above my head. Mhm. Yeah, exactly, Becca. Mhm. Which is their job, right? And again, doesn't mean he's guilty of anything, doesn't mean he's innocent of anything either. Yeah. My gut tells me that we will hear more in the new year. There is so much valuable info that has surfaced as of late. Our CMP surveils more than we know. Oh, yeah. I agree, Kim. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely. Yep. Yep. Occam's razor. Lori, but then Daniel said to CBC, not the night before. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which I take as there was a party that week. One would think the way he said that, right? Yeah, because he did say it. Yeah, like that way. That was a post that was labeled. Yes, Anon, that's right. Yeah. At the end of the day, I want Lily and Jack to be found. I want the people responsible to be charged and justice will be served. Exactly. I have been watching this since day one and it doesn't get better. Exactly. Um, yeah. Yipper. So sad. That is scary. Pictou County isn't a large county. Yeah, lots unsolved in Sydney area and Cape Breton. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like these people don't just exactly. People just don't vanish. Even if they ran away, they have to be found. Right. JDR, nice to see you. They are children, minors. They need to be protected. Exactly. 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 People need to give it up with I speak up. I know the whole rat thing. I hate when I hear it. I hate it. Uh yeah. CM, I remember that. But if there was a party when people left, they would have been seen on CCTV or close by friends or family where no CCTV would catch them on the roads. Yeah. Having a party doesn't mean anything happened. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, small towns, no police, no one to protect them if they are attacked. Yeah, well, the case I was saying in Trenton there, Eddie Phelan, he was poo-poo, uh, right in front of his house as he was coming back from the store from buying cigarettes. And you would think, like, how could that person not be caught, right? On a street with lots of houses, every which way that the individual would have to go to try to get away, uh, was, it was a neighborhood with lots of houses on it. And then to get out of the town, which, like, they closed everything off because at the time, us people that were at work and Pictou couldn't leave to go home because they had everything closed off. Nobody was allowed in or out, so we had to wait. Um, they didn't get the person. Like, just weird. Oh, did you, Becca? Yeah. Sad. So sad. 27-year-old summer knee bone red rum case and PI to convicted cotton. Really? Wow. Huh. Yeah, I'd like to know what he's talking about. I don't even know what he's talking about. Mike MX has a channel, if I didn't say that. Okay, the satellite photos were mentioned in the document. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He did say he would search for the rest of his life, but he's never gone out at all, ever, and searched in that area where the stuff has been found. Um, so just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments that I should. Daniel also mixed up Wednesday and Thursday. Easy to do. If you're up all night, one day runs into the other, in my opinion. Thank you. Nice to hear your voice. Hello from Quebec, but from Digby. Well, nice to have you here, Jasmine. Thank you very much. Michelle, my belle. Yes, maybe new year, new funds replenished as well. Maybe. Maybe. All right. So let's take a quick, I'm just going to go over these. I'm not going to go do the deep dive on them yet, but I will be doing deep dives on them. I'm working on the deep dives, but I'm a little behind on everything because honestly, um, as you guys know, I wasn't feeling well. And when my disc was bothering me, the upper one, like in my neck and that, it's very hard to hold anything in my hand, or to even hold my left arm up, like to do typing or anything. So I'm a little behind on my intentions, in doing these deep dives, but I just want to read these. And I added some. So what's like these young men are all missing from Pictou County, or sorry, from Nova Scotia. Um, very, very strange cases. I guess any cases with a missing person, isn't it? It really is. And I hate to use the word mysterious, but missing persons cases are. They really are. So we have Alan Kenley, and who goes by Kenley, which is why I put it in caps, Matheson, age 20 years, last seen September 21st, 1992. And he was last seen in Main Street, Wolfville, Nova Scotia. And there is up to a $150,000 reward. He was attending university in Wolfville. His sister also attended there. There was 2 years in the difference, but he had taken 2 years to travel across Canada and to other places. He's quite worldly. He did tree planting and saved money for school. And he was last seen Saturday prior to him being reported missing. So last seen September 21st. I'm trying to remember. Right, it was his best friend, or not his, I wouldn't say best friend, but a good friend that he had just made at school who had seen him, who states he had seen him on the main street in Wolfville. He was at a party Saturday prior to this. He did not show up for classes, and then it became became apparent to his sister and some others that something was wrong because he was not showing up for his classes. And then he was reported missing. So, and that would have been, I think it was 2 days later. And he's the first one that I'm going to do the deep dive on, is Kenley. And so very, very strange. And there's a lot more to this story. His sister and mother both took part in a 5-part documentary called Finding Kenley. And I encourage you guys to watch it. What an awesome documentary. And I found that a little weird searching for the rest of yeah. Oh gosh, that's terrible. Yeah. So sad. You know, just wish these things didn't happen. Oh, yeah. I won't let them touch it. They're not touching my back. No way. Yeah, well, sorry to hear that you have that as well. Yeah. Yeah, Ginger, I don't know if you're talking about the Kenley one, but yeah, it sure is. They all are. They're all very mysterious. Yeah. Oh, you watched it, did you? Yes, Kenley is a crazy story recently watched. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. So when you guys watched that documentary, did you happen to notice where they were talking about somebody had said to one gentleman had said to another gentleman, well, how do they never find these people that go missing here in Nova Scotia? And he said, the other fella said, well, look at where they have to look. Like, they have to look on these properties that generations of families own that have lived in those areas forever and a day, and they know the land like the back of their hand. Um, and if they're the ones that did something and disposed of the body, nobody is ever going to find it. You guys remember that part in the documentary? I don't, Animal Keeper, but if you just look up Finding Kenley, Kenley, Finding Kenley, but you'll find it on YouTube. Like, it's on there. You can watch it without interruption. Well, besides the YouTube stuff, but you know what I mean. It's there's no issue watching it. You know how some you try to click on and they won't let you because it shouldn't be on there, blah blah blah. You're allowed watching it. And it's not recorded. It's like the actual video. Yeah, well, that was the last thing that I heard, was that a bear found a scent, or a bear, um, a dog, the elderly gentleman who owns that cadaver dog, yeah, that it picked up a scent in that area. Yeah, and so the most promising theory, or it's the one that his sister believes to be so, that most likely happened with Kenley, is that he was red rummed by somebody that also attended the university and did not live on campus, so because they lived in the area, and the family did as well, and they owned they same idea as you can picture with the Lansdowne thing, with they lived in a very rural area where the family owned a lot of the land in that area, and a lot of family living there. Yeah, so very interesting, very I shouldn't say interesting, but very yeah, just yeah. Watch the documentary, guys. You will not be disappointed. Um, yes, Ginger, I did as well. Yeah, yeah, but could just be picking up on he was kind of stuffy. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so the other one, that's one gentleman in Nova Scotia. Now, Kevin, I touched on before, and I'm going to be doing a deep dive on him as well that I'm working on. His is going to be quite extensive. It might actually be in two parts. Kevin Wesley Martin, age 13 years old, reported missing May 19th, 1994, from Stellarton, Nova Scotia, found deceased November 13th, 2000, Burnside, Colchester County, Nova Scotia, in a shallow grave, up to a $150,000 reward. Now, again, he's one of the cold cases here in Pictou County. He had taken off from his home and went out to an area here called Thorburn, which is where I used to live when I moved back to Pictou County. And he had friends out there. And then his parents went to pick him up, to take him back home. And when he got out of the car, the story that is told to the police was that as soon as he got out of the car, he took off and ran away. And, and he didn't come back. And they just thought that he will come back eventually. And he didn't. So, but in the meantime, I will say from being here, people did not believe that. People did not believe that. Now, there's a few theories as to what people believe took place with Kevin, and we will get into that when I do the deep dive on Kevin. To me, Kevin's case is very important to discuss, and Shenanigans is going to come on with me, and we're going to, because she's followed this as well. His case is not talked about. It's like it never happened. It's like he never existed, except there's an article every once in a while. It's so lightly touched on. When you go on YouTube and you punch in a case, and all the information comes up of people who have discussed certain cases, you don't find Kevin. It needs to be discussed, and it needs to be brought back to life. It's been cold now since, well, he went missing 1994. He was found in 2000. So it's pretty cold, this case. And I'm hoping to receive some information from RCMP on this one, being that it's so cold that they would be willing to share some information. Now, wrong one. Troy Cook, age 19 years old, last seen July 11th, 1998, by his father, who dropped him off near his home in Truro, Nova Scotia, in 1 Victoria Street. Reward up to $150,000 being offered. Again, very strange case, very mysterious. His father dropped him off at home. He then, within a short amount of time, had made a phone call. Well, it's believed to be him, that he called in sick at work, the grocery store that he had worked at, and that he said the lady who took the phone call stated that it sounded like him, but he sounded different. And he called in sick for his shift, which was not a common thing for him. And so he didn't show up at work, and his things were left in his apartment. He rented the apartment with another individual who was quite a bit older than him, and his wallet was still there. Things that he would have had with him were still there. The payphone that he had called from was near the Tim Hortons in Truro. So just again, a little mysterious, and some strange things that have been said or have taken place surrounding this case. So, and we'll get into that when we do a deeper dive on it. Zach LaFave. Zach LaFave. He was 2 days shy of his 21st birthday, of turning 21 years old. He was last seen January 1st, 2021, walking on Highway 334 in Plymouth, Yarmouth County. Reported missing January 1st. 2021. And there is up to $150,000 reward being offered. He, uh, yeah, so he was at a party. He was at a New Year's party, and then he left the party. He was last seen, um, yeah, the party would have been on the 31st, right? December 31st, or 30. I think there's 31 days. I can't remember. Anyways, in December. And so then in the morning hours of after midnight, right? January 1st was when he was last seen. Now, they found his jeans. So what that means, I don't know. Very strange. Um, yeah. And so we'll be doing a deeper dive on that one as well. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of rug issues with those missing here and unalived. They still deserve justice. Exactly. And they're young. These are young people, right? Where you're at, most people at that age, not most, but many, they are experimenting with drugs and alcohol, right? Um, that doesn't mean that 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road that they're still going to be doing that. Many people grow out of that stage and, take a different path, right? Some don't, but many do. So yeah, Zach LaFave used to live in Moncton, New Brunswick, as did Red Rum victim Kalina Kelly Trask. Okay, interesting. Uh, and she is one of the ones that was found here in Pictou County, in Green Hill, exactly, in the burnt out truck. And her boyfriend, Tyler Meeker, found in Green Hill. Yep, exactly. Yep. Now hmm, this one is interesting. Zachary Kellogg, age 23 years. And I forgot about Zach LaFave until I was looking up Zach Kellogg because this one's newer, 2024. And I was looking him up and Zach LaFave come up and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. So Zach Kellogg, age 23 years, reported missing January 16th, 2024. Last seen January 14th, 2024, while visiting an address in Millbrook, Nova Scotia. Excuse me. With two other individuals. RCMP is treating this case as a homicide. And I thought, okay, well, what is making them say that, right? Because they don't have him. So they found something. They have found something that has told them that this needs to be treated as a homicide. So there's definitely something going on there. Reward of up to $150,000 also offered in this. And I also have the information here for all the numbers to contact, but I think I forgot to download that. Just 1 second, guys. Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, what did they find that they are saying that? They found something. No, I didn't. Okay, what I'll do is put the banner on for Jack and Lily again. Run that across the bottom because that is the same number to call. So anyone with any information on any of these cases. So, if you have information on Jack and Lily, or Zachary Kellogg, Zach LaFave, Troy Cook, Kenley Matheson, Kevin Martin, any of these cases, please contact the numbers below. Okay, so there is the RCMP, and it says Lilly&Jack, but it's the same for all of these cases. Well, wait now, not never mind the 902-485-4333. But the Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers, toll free at 1-800-222-TIPS, which is 8744. Jesse, yes. Yeah, Jesse. Yeah, his brother was red-rumped, and then he went missing very soon after. Yep, in Amherst. Yep. Cody McDonald. Why do I not know that one? Gonna have to look that one up. I don't think I know that. Cody McDonald, another one missing here. He was last seen on camera in Louisdale, February 2024, and never again. Okay. Okay, I'm going to type that in my phone right now, so I don't forget the name of it, so I can read it when I go to bed. My reading material. Cody McDonald missing. He looks young too. Yeah, I know, Mousy. Yeah. And it seems more males than females, which is kind of different because statistically, it's usually females. Yeah. So that's different. Oh, hi, Mary. Thanks for being here. I haven't been looking at the chat, so if you've been here for a long time, I wasn't ignoring you. I was just reading. Little Gus, we never hear any more about that case either. Little Gus. Is it a coincidence that people that knew missing Cody McDonald also knew Tyler Meager? No, it might very well not be. Yeah. We don't believe in coincidences. Yeah. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, it is past 2 hours, and that is my time's up. 2 hours. I want to thank everyone who was here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Shenanigans. I agree. Yeah. Yep. Suspect many of these cases are connected. Yep. I think some are, yeah. Hi, Lynn. Yes, everyone stay warm and safe. It's a blizzard here tonight. Yeah, it's a blizzard here tonight. Thank you everyone for being here. I will go through again. Thank you, Susan, for becoming a member. Thank you, Rena, for becoming a member. And thank you, Rena, again for gifting 5 memberships. Very nice. Root Strength, thank you for your $10 sticker. Super sticker. Joyous, thank you very much for your $20 gift. Thank you. Very nice. And Pictou Hub, thank you for your $13.99. Happy holidays to you and your hubby. Thank you very much. Thank you. You guys are all awesome. Oh, wait a minute. I missed some. I didn't know they were there. Or Shy, thank you. Thank you for your $2. Thanks for all you do. Well, thank you for being here. And I apologize for not seeing those till now. I'm wondering if the car that Brad Wong said he heard the night before the kids went missing is really missing, as I have heard. Yeah. Yeah. Curious, eh? Yeah. And I heard that a long time ago. Yeah. And I thought it meant, when I first heard it, I took it wrong because I thought what was being stated was that that RCMP had confiscated the vehicle. And I was thinking, oh, they took that into evidence. And then I took it wrong because then I had looked into it. And then it was like, well, no, nothing was taken into evidence, no vehicle by RCMP. And then I was like, oh, okay, I don't know what that person was talking about then. And then come to find out that that's what the individual meant. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know. Yep. Whether that is so or not. So thank you everyone for being here. It's good to be back as well. Just the facts. Yeah. Yeah. Happy to be back. Lots of love to you guys. Lots of positive vibes. I'm going to put a little bit of music on and show all these posters that I have ready here. Missing folks. Sad. I still have more I need to do. Oh, what song shall I play? Take care, everyone. Okay. And I will see you on the next live. And hopefully I'll continue to feel as good as I do. I always have pain. That'll never go away. But there's nothing like having pain and having an ear and sinus infection at the same time. Ear, sinus infection. My eye was swollen as well. From the pressure, it was quite swollen, and then it had turned all, like, the blood vessels were not very pretty. So, yeah. So, lots of love to you all. We'll see you on the next live. Take care, everyone. Bye.